What is up, ladies and gentlebots? Of course, this is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. It is, I believe, is it episode 177? I think it may be. I'm going to my little YouTube live stream thing, making sure that this is set up. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, guys. About 1 minute late here. Hold on a sec. All right, so we have a lot of people joining in chat really quick. Chris Cox, what is up? He is in the building. Christian Jensen, hey all. Kev Gret is happy, wet and rainy Monday. I would love it if it was raining over here because it would get a lot of the smoke out of the air. Logan68 is back in the building. What is up? I am Ruts, Paradise Decay. Hey, what's up? Paradise joining real quick and real early because usually he arrives a little bit later to the game. Excuse me. So anyway, yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Do all of these great things that we love so much. If we ever wanted to try to do that. SAMIK81 is also checking in. What is going on, folks? So, today's Monday, right? It's a new week. It's a new beginning. This week we do have SIGGRAPH 2018, which is going to take place. Tomorrow's a big day because of the Star VR thing. We're going to find out what is going on with that. Yeah, SIGGRAPH is already going on right now, but I haven't heard of any major breaking things that have popped off. And looking at the various subreddits, looking at Upload VR, Road to VR, there's not a lot going on right now at this point in time. It is a little bit quiet. So if anybody has any particular topics they want to get into, any particular trailers they want to let me know about, go ahead and do that in chat. Roy Schwartz is in the building. Of course, yesterday we did have VR Roundtable. It was our second live show, and that was fun. That was fun to have chat in there. We don't incorporate chat as much on VR Roundtable as we will in this show because, there's three other guys. And this show, there's just me and chat. So I am Rut, says Anthony, did you pick up Alien Isolation? Yes, I did. Yes, I did pick up Alien Isolation. I'll talk about that in a little bit. We can wait a little bit on that because that's probably the best thing I have for this particular episode is a bit of a discussion on Alien Isolation. SAMIK81 talking about the Humble Bundle. Yes, that is going on. Ray Delatorre, did I get my Oculus Go did I get my Oculus Go yet? And I made a terrible, terrible decision. Yeah, there is a new Firewall trailer. I do have that. Yeah, it's funny. Everybody's doing all my news stories for me. I actually have all of these news stories that everybody's talking about right here. Oh, we got SSH Turtle in the building, a new watcher on for a little bit. Did you miss anything? No, we barely started. We haven't even. Honestly, this show takes about 5 minutes to kind of get rolling. And then the last 10 minutes are pretty boring as well. Show Game, hi Anthony, what is going on, Show Game? Nice to see you. So back to Ray Delatorre and the Oculus Go. I don't know why I didn't just drive to a Best Buy and buy an Oculus Go. I could have had an Oculus Go Thursday night. I could have been playing it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today is Monday. I could be playing it. I still have not received my Oculus Go, and I'm a bit concerned about that. They said 2-day shipping. Little disappointed, but, I will live. Chrono Trigger, Jason H. showing up as well. So, anyways, why don't we go back? We can talk about Humble Bundle. Let's go ahead and check out this Humble Bundle sale. One sec here, because I know I had a little Humble Bundle image. Yeah, so they are having another VR sale. There is up to 75% off. They have that going on. And let me go ahead and let's see, Humble. Bounce back over there. They have up to 75% off some of their VR games. They've done a number of these VR sales a couple of times before, and usually there's a couple pretty good deals, like Batman Arkham VR is $9.99. That is $10. That is 50% off. Batman isn't the greatest, but it is a fun thing to go ahead and just see the designs and stuff like that. Honestly, I will say though, to me, Batman was way more impressive at the launch of PlayStation VR, because early in 2016, well, late 2016 is when that was coming out, but VR didn't have very many experiences where there was an actual human that was in front of you and was talking to you and those kinds of things. And Batman had that, and that was kind of a novelty way back then. Audio Shield is only $10. That is 50% off. Audio Shield usually sticks pretty hard to its normal price, so that is $10. Arizona Sunshine is $20. That is a pretty good deal. Torn, you could do a pre-order for Torn by Aspire Media, which comes out on August 28th. Honestly, Torn might be one of the best VR games we get this month. Even though we have stuff like Firewall Zero Hour, we've got Bow to Blood. I know there's a couple of other games coming out around August 28th. One of them is slipping my mind, but we do have Torn. You can pre-order that, $24. Duck Season is $14, not too bad. Let's see. The Gallery, Episode 2, Heart of the Emberstone, $20. I really feel like the Gallery, it has some issues, but in certain respects, that's one of the best VR games I've ever played in terms of like visuals, 3D sound, the combination of it all. It does have some issues. It has some arbitrary puzzles that will piss you the hell off like nobody's business. And do I dare say it, To the Top is $10. To the Top, I repeat, is $10. That is probably the steal of the deal. Oh my God, maybe not. Maybe To the Top is not the steal of the deal. Maybe it's the Brookhaven Experiment 5 bones. 5 bones for Brookhaven Experiment. If you don't own Brookhaven Experiment, you are doing yourself a tremendous disservice. Unless you can't handle the horror, and I get it. If you can't handle the horror with Brookhaven, I completely understand, because there were times I was in those sewers, and the thing about Brookhaven, it is a 360 experience like none other. And you turn, you look behind you, you look in front of you. There's literally, when you're in those sewers, there's like 8 or 9 different openings that zombies and other creatures can approach you from. And it's so atmospheric. You got the wet pavement, you got the flickering lights. Brookhaven Experiment, I honestly think, is just a tremendously underrated game. It's such an old game. People take it for, take it for granted, and they don't think about it. A lot of people just don't think about it. Let's see. I was trying to see what other. Racket NX for $10. Hey, not bad at all, especially if you're living the wireless dream. If you're living the wireless dream, you definitely want some Racket NX in your life. Football Nation VR. I just mentioned this game yesterday. I was talking to Phil Yarn, I believe. We were talking about how there's not a lot of good sports games in VR. Football Nation VR is trying to do something relatively interesting, and this game is 65% off, $5.24 centilla for Football Nation VR. $5.24, not a bad deal by any stretch of the imagination. But honestly, I got to think my number one pick is Brookhaven at $5, and then To the Top at $10. Gorn, an absolute classic, Gorn at $15. So actually, this is pretty good. This is better than I thought it was, because sometimes I'll see these deals and they're kind of lame, but this actually has some pretty darn good deals. So what is everybody buying? Let me go back over to chat and see what's going on. Actually, let me switch off of this. I'll throw in a different trailer, but I'm in a different background here. But we will continue to talk about some of these great deals, because there are some seriously awesome deals that are going on. And I'll just throw on some random Electronauts montage. Okay, so what are people talking about over here? Hey, Anthony, been thinking a bit. I have an idea if you want to hear it. Yeah, we'll definitely check that out. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about F Reality. F Reality, the new podcast on Saturdays. Chris Cox, I've seen you in the Virtual Reality Oasis Discord. I think he's talking to SSH Turtle. Okay, yeah. So no one's really talking about the sales, though. But VR Spry Guy says, Brookhaven made me realize I needed a third sensor for my Rift. You know what? I've tried playing Brookhaven on the Rift, and I don't know why, but it doesn't quite feel the same as Brookhaven on the Vive. And I've never tried the PSVR version, but I played Brookhaven so much on the HTC Vive and really fell in love with the game. It's an incredibly simple game. It's your standard issue wave shooter, but let me tell you, when you get into those sewers and you start hearing those bug creatures, okay? And right above you, you are standing, right above you is this giant opening in the ceiling, and bugs fucking come down from there. And I'm telling you, dudes, the one thing that I am scared shitless of would be giant bugs. If we were attacked by some alien creatures from some other planet and they turned out to be gigantic bugs, like Starship Troopers, that is like my worst possible nightmare. And in Brookhaven Experiment, you're in those sewers and you hear, you know, you hear these bug sounds and you're like, oh my God, one of those freaking bugs. And then they spit on you and the spit shoots at you and it like paralyzes you for a second, and the sounds, oh my God. Brookhaven Experiment is great. Sturi Maximus says, just turned in sorta late. Where is this sale? Well, the sale is the Humble Indie Bundle. And, you know, Humble Indie Bundle, VR sale, up to 75% off. A lot of times these sales are very overrated. Like there might be one or two decent buys in the basket. But this time you got To the Top for $10. Absolute steal. Brookhaven for $5. Absolute steal. Arizona, 20 bones. Not bad. Batman, $10. Some really good deals. Essay MIK81 says, I own too many games, too many VR games. Hard to find a game in sales that I don't already own. At least interesting game for me. Yeah. Asking people for topics of discussion. Yeah, we are. I'm late because of wireless VR sessions. So VR Mania Q, if you've got wireless VR, I know you've got Racket NX. And if you don't have Racket NX, you need to bounce over to this Humble Indie Bundle and grab Racket NX, because it's probably the premier game you want to play on wireless, other than, say, Unseen Diplomacy. Unseen Diplomacy, even better. Okay, so we do have a brand new trailer for Firewall 0 Hour, and we're kind of light on news and stories today, so let's go ahead and peep out this trailer. Again, my interest level in Firewall is tepid at best, but it is a very big game. That office looks hella good. Their interiors look really, really nice. I love this hotel, baby. I love that carpet. I love the wood molding. Look at the molding, like on the side walls. That looks like a legit hotel. I don't know, like when you have the headset on, how good it looks. That looks pretty good. Good lighting effects. I mean, this is PS4. It's doing pretty good for the PS4. And there is a lot of hype behind this game. This appears to be a really big game. Firewall 0 hour. It is by First Contact Entertainment. Of course, Adam Orth just recently departed. You think he might have stayed on just to see the launch of this game and then bounce out of there. But I guess he had to go. You got to go. You got to go. You got to do what you got to do. But I like the visuals. Looks very good. I am going to be getting this game with my aim controller, the bundle, because I don't have an aim controller. So I'm only paying $20, to grab Firewall. I'll try it. I'm not an online guy. I'm not a Rainbow Six guy. But these interiors look so damn good. And then in combination with the aim controller, the whole experience, I think it'll be pretty fun. That is August 28th. Like I was saying, we got a lot of stuff to play coming late in the month of August, around August 28th. Fluke says, is Firewall multiplayer only? Pretty much, but not exactly. So apparently you don't even need to have PlayStation Plus. There is actually an offline mode where you're kind of like going up against bots or something, or like a little training mode or something. There's something that you can do if you don't have PlayStation Plus. There's something you can do with this game. Now, what I probably would do is if you set up a new PlayStation account, you can get like 2 days of Plus, like a 48-hour period with Plus. And so that's a great way to like sample to see if you even want to play this online, or maybe get like a 1-month subscription. Or get 1 year. I mean, I just don't use online gaming very much on PSVR. But it would give me more of an incentive to do that. But yeah, I like the interiors. I think they look pretty good. I Am Rhett says, Pavlov VR is too chaotic for me. Too many people spawning everywhere. I spawn and get killed from behind. Pain in the ass. To be honest, what you said right there, that is my normal routine with any game of this type, is that I'm just not that good and I get killed pretty much instantaneously. Now, if I could guarantee that I was only playing against you guys, and I know that Fluke and Phil Yarn are running around, and Charles Van Nolan, you guys are running around in this building, and I know I'm playing against you guys, then maybe I stand a chance. But when I go up against just random everyday people, oh my God. Oh, Roy Schwartz. Yeah, this was some news from yesterday. You know what happens often, guys? I miss a lot of things in chat because I'm looking at something else, getting something else ready. I miss a lot of things. And Roy Schwartz is in the building. He has a 1080 Ti with liquid cooling and all that. He has pulled the trigger on a very high-end PC from CyberPower. He's all the way in. So Roy, dude, are you playing like legit PC VR games? What are you playing? I think you got an Oculus Rift, right? If you got an Oculus Rift, Red Matter, baby. I want to see, what do you think about Red Matter, especially with a rig like that? Oh my God, you could probably super sample the hell out of it. You got to check out Zing the Land. God, you got a million games that you could possibly play, Roy, now that you got yourself a PC VR solution. Yeah, SSH Turtle is recommending Skyrim, Beat Saber, Fallout 4. Honestly, Roy, there's a lot of demos you can screw around with. Try the Brass Tactics demo. Try the lab. Try everything in the lab and play it a million times. Zortex 26XX. Okay, XX Silver XX says Firewall will be intense as Rainbow Six can be. That's what we're hoping. We need a powerful multiplayer game in VR that is going to bring over a lot of console players. This is the type of game here. Firewall doesn't necessarily appeal to me very much, but my teenage sons, they probably would be interested in this. They would probably give this a try, especially if they saw me playing it, with my gun and with my PSVR headset and doing all of that. And XX Silver XX played Robinson the Journey for £9. Really enjoyed it. Robinson is awesome, especially when you got that little Higgs robot that is floating everywhere. And when you look at that Higgs robot, that thing is crystal clear. Absolutely love that. Anthony, Rec Room Laser Tag, anytime, bring it. Yeah, I need to get back into that. I need to do that. We'll have to do that soon. Roy Schwartz, it's coming Wednesday. I'm kind of excited. Okay, doesn't have it quite yet, so he's waiting on it. Yeah, dude, you've got so much stuff to potentially play. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy. Wait, you have an Odyssey too? You have a Rift and an Odyssey? You're crazy. Okay, yeah, I Am Rutz is talking about Wreck Royale. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me bounce over to the Vive subreddit. I usually start over there. We're kind of low on stories today, so I'll see if anything else is going on. So, there is this little Revive story. So let's talk about that for a second. So, of course, we have had Revive. Luckily, thank our lucky stars that we have had Cross VR and we have had Revive. And it's a really huge thing because for those of us that only had an HTC Vive, when all these games started coming out on Oculus Rift, how were we going to play these games? And Revive was a solution. Cross VR was there. This guy was tireless in his efforts to try to get Revive working great so that Vive players could enjoy Oculus stuff. And then, of course, later, when we had the Windows mixed reality headsets come on the scene, and you had the Acer, the Lenovo, HP, Samsung, all the different Dell Windows mixed reality headsets come aboard, Revive also created kind of a beta version of that for these Windows mixed reality headsets as well. So Revive has done a lot of great things for us. Now, I will admit, it was the summer of Rift, that first day, Oculus Rift, $399, summer of Rift. I ran out. I bought an Oculus Rift that day. And so from that day forward, I didn't need Revive anymore. I'm playing natively on my Oculus Rift. And so I honestly haven't thought about Revive in a long time, but it's still there. It still works great. Every once in a while, there might be a slight hiccup. A certain game might not work right. And then sometimes the translations, it's not Revive's fault. It's the controls. Sometimes the controls are just a problem. The translation just isn't very good. But the reason this is in the news is that Cross VR, the actual developer, he's shutting down his Revive Patreon because he has been hired by Epic Games. So he will be working for Epic Games, hopefully in the VR area. Here's what he says: Dear patrons, your support for the past year has given me the freedom to work freely on projects that fascinated me. I even went back to university for a little while. I feel privileged that I had that freedom thanks to your patronage. So tons of people supported Revive, really helped this guy out. But now he is taking his next step. He's been offered a job at Epic Games, and he's going to continue to support the community by helping improve VR, AR, mixed reality support in the Unreal Engine. He will have a full-time job, so he's ending his Patreon next week. But he says this does not mean he will stop developing Revive, and he will keep maintaining that project in his spare time for as long as PC exclusives exist. And a lot of people are thanking CrossVR. Thanks so much for all the great stuff that you've done all this time. He's gotten some really good money from Patreon, no joke. I mean, dude did a masterful thing of creating this compatibility layer so that it works like this, and it's really helped a lot of people out. And now he is going to work for Epic Games. So what begins well, ends well. But Revive will continue. Revive still exists. It's not like it's disappearing into the mist. So we still do have Revive. I'm going to go ahead and switch, put a different trailer on real quick, and then see what you guys are saying about Revive. So let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying here. I play Marvel Powers United on Revive, and my 1080 struggles playing it. That is Ray Delatorre. Well, Marvel Powers United VR, I don't know that is the best optimized game ever in the history of gaming, so that might not really be the Revive problem there. Let's see. Silver is saying, today is calm before the storm. Hopefully tomorrow will be mental after Star VR reveal. So it does appear a lot of people are excited. with a possibility that this Star VR is going to be a consumer focused product. It's possible. It is certainly possible. That will be exciting tomorrow. Doesn't Palmer Luckey pay him $2,000 a month for Revive? Well, I know Palmer Luckey donated $2,000, but I don't know if it's like monthly. That would be kind of crazy. Marvel has some major glitches still. Hope they get it smoothed out and add content that is Supersonic Station. Yeah, so I was trying to see if anybody else was talking. Oh, Logan68 earlier was saying, still can't get my Revive to work. So some people have had some issues with Revive. Yeah, Paradise Decay was also talking to @RoySchwartz. Man, you got 2 years of games to catch up on. Yeah, he's got like endless hours of gameplay ahead of him. It's almost going to be a bit overwhelming. It's like being a kid in a candy store, especially so much of it is free. You got so much free stuff you can screw around with. Like all the different things like the dispatch thing, that I was showing yesterday. You've got a lot of non-gaming stuff that is going to be absolutely badass that you're going to have to try as well, and a lot of great demos. There's a ton of great demos to check out as well. But I'd grab Brookhaven for $5. That is and I'd grab To the Top for $5 unless you have To the Top on PSVR. The Rift version of To the Top, I had some issues with that. So yeah, let me see, what other stories do we have going on? Let me bounce over to the PSVR subreddit. So, one of the lead stories on the PSVR subreddit says, even if you prefer another headset, you can't deny how incredibly cool the PSVR looks. And you know what? I can't deny it either. Look at that. That looks like a freaking alien from another planet. That is just somebody playing a PSVR with a DualShock 4 controller, and they look like some kind of alien creature or a spaceman or a UFO guy or something. It does look pretty cool. PSVR does look pretty sweet. Star VR, actually mentioning Star VR, if they stick with all those red lights that are all over it, that actually looks kind of cool as well. Kevgret says, looks like Isaac from Dead Space. Yeah, it just looks cool. I've seen a lot of pictures like this, though, where somebody is playing PSVR in the dark, and it comes out this way, and it looks really cool. That is one thing that Sony has benefited from. Silver, I'm just going to say Silver instead of XXXX. Hopefully everyone will know what I'm talking about. Silver says, PSVR headset is great. It's just the tracking and move controllers that are shite. That's all. Yeah, that is all. Just the tracking and move controllers. Everything else is good. But, that's pretty much the truth, and it's because of a single camera. But I give Sony credit for, squeezing out the best VR performance they can for what they have to work with. Sony, what's that? I think there's a Tupac song where he said, Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving, talking about finding stuff in the fridge and just whipping something up somehow. And that's Sony, man. Sony has made miracles with old technology that they had lying around and strapping it all together. The camera, the PS3 camera and their move controllers and strapping everything together. And they've made a halfway decent VR product. Remember, this was available October 2016. It's not like the PSVR just came out yesterday. I think Sony did an incredible job with what they had to work with. Does it all work together perfectly? No, but we're going to get that with PS5. So I think we just need to hold on there. Exactly, Anthony. At least Sony are having a go. Yeah, they're the only console VR thing we have right now. We need to be thankful for Sony. Where is Xbox? Where is Xbox VR? Next gen PlayStation VR will be awesome. That is Ray Delatory. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. My personal prediction right now at this current point in time is I do believe PlayStation 5 is a 2019 product. Unfortunately, I think PSVR 2 is going to be delayed a year. So I don't see PSVR 2 until 2020, and that is painful that we're going to have to deal with that single camera and the crappy Move controllers all the way until possibly November 2020. That is kind of a buzzkill right there, but still like it, still love it. Okay, let's see here. Did I have anything else to get into? I do have an interesting picture to get into. I mean, this is not a big deal by any stretch of the imagination, but what about our boy Palmer Luckey? Our boy Palmer Luckey has joined the Magic Leap 1 club. Yeah, he tweeted this out with like Magic Leap Teardown ? And I don't know exactly what he was talking about that. But Palmer Luckey is sampling the Magic Leap 1, and why wouldn't he? Palmer Luckey, let's not forget, this guy has like a straight up collection of all kinds of classic VR headsets that date way back. He's an enthusiast in this entire department. I mean, yeah, he was a major, he basically created the Oculus Rift with help from others, with help from a lot of good friends. Created the Oculus Rift, and he's a fan in general, though. He's a fan like the rest of us. I'm not going to worry about his political issues. Like, he's got his own political issues, whatever. I think the guy's kind of a contrarian, so I think that kind of plays into that, but I'm not going to go down that road. But he is a fan of all this type of stuff, and he's going to check out Magic Leap 1. He's going to run it through its paces. I'm actually curious to see what his comments are. Hopefully he'll be relatively fair and up to par with his comments. Paul Smith says, he may love VR, but I still think he's a douchebag. And, he may be a douchebag, but I'm not going to comment on that because, honestly, like, any of the stuff that he was tied into, like, I didn't research it enough to really have a take on it, so I'm just going to stay out of that. Chris Cox is saying that thread quickly went south, and I think he was talking about the Oculus. There was a thread in the Oculus subreddit where they had this picture, and it went south real bad. Supersonic Station says, no Magic Loop news, please. No, please, we don't want any Magic Leap news. Well, that's the only little Magic Leap thing I got for you is my boy Palmer Luckey. I just thought it was kind of funny to see Palmer Luckey with that bug-eyed headset on his head. I just think it's a little bit funny. Okay, I'm just going to put on a random trailer here. And, excuse me, Chris Cox is saying he's like the grandfather of VR. Silver is saying, I think all VR systems should follow the Switch, mobile and tethered to a machine. Ray Delatorre says, you went from that cool PlayStation VR pick to this Magic Leap dork. Phil Yarn says he's our creator. Any Oculus Go news? I'm still waiting on my Oculus Go. You know what I need to do is I got to check my email and see where it is right now. My Oculus Go started out in Kentucky. Then it was in Illinois. I don't know where it is today. And it's supposedly not going to arrive until Thursday, which I think is hella bunk because it says 2-day shipping on their website. I ordered it Thursday evening. Okay, so they had all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I thought worst case scenario I'd get my Oculus Go today. I'm a little disappointed in that. That is my Go news. I should have just bought one at Best Buy. A complete and total idiot. I could have just drove to Best Buy and bought one. I just completely forgot about it. J King is saying it's fun but limited. Well, I want to see for myself. I know it's not going to replace anything that I'm doing, but the way I look at it is like if you ever had a 3DS, the Oculus Go is like 3DS for VR players is what it is, because like I can play something like Kin. I can pair a controller to it and play something like Kin or play something like let's see, what are some of the games on it where the graphics like virtual reality, supposedly you play that on the Oculus Go. It's just as good of an experience as it is on the Rift, and I think it's a damn good experience on the Rift. Fluke says, sign of the times when you forget you can just go and pick something up from retail. Yeah, I just, like, retail just was out of my mind. I don't really go to retail stores anymore. I pretty much order things from Amazon and other miscellaneous stores. In fact, there's something that I ordered yesterday from an online store, and it was an incredible deal. It was kind of like the Humble Indie Bundle. It was $7.19. Yeah, in chat yesterday, People were talking about Alien Isolation, this game that I've heard so much about. It's always been ranked so high on the rankings. It's ranked high on the Vive rankings. It's ranked high on the Rift rankings. Alien Isolation VR. Lots of people ranting and raving about this. I never happened to try it, but I saw this incredible deal. $7.19 is how much I paid because I used the Summer 10 coupon. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Anthony, bro, you could have got the Alien Isolation collection with all that DLC and stuff for like $2 more, like $1.50 more, or whatever it was. But you know what? I don't buy the DLC because what I've learned is I'm iceberg slim. Remember, I barely scratched the surface of all these games. I'm on top of the iceberg. I very, very rarely do I get down to the bottom of the iceberg. It just doesn't happen very often. So playing DLC, I don't really worry about it. Instead, I just want that core game because it's going to take me long enough just to play through this core game, much less worry about all the DLC. So I'm happy with the core game. So here's the deal, folks. I have been playing Alien Isolation. I played it yesterday, but I have not actually gotten to the real deal Alien yet. Okay, I have been with that guy where you're walking with that guy down those hallways, and he met an untimely fate responsible from the alien. He went ahead and departed because of the alien, but I haven't been in a situation yet where I've just seen the alien running around and I've had to hide from the alien. So I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I played for quite a while yesterday. I have not seen this type of stuff yet. And this type of stuff could give me a possible heart attack. I'm very worried about that because I've been playing Alien Isolation all this time, and I don't know when I'm going to see this alien. I don't know when that thing is going to jump out of the corner at me or scurry across the way, and I'm going to be like, oh my God, this alien is going to scare the living daylights out of me. And as I've been playing this, I'm walking down the hallways of the Nostromo. The way they've done the graphics, this is like Lone Echo. I mean, the graphics are damn near Lone Echo kind of when you're inside this space station. The computer terminals, they do kind of have this like 1980s style, so they go with kind of this more old school style. The one problem, though, with Alien Isolation is there's no hand presence. So I'm playing this with a controller. I am standing up. I'm standing up. Crunchy says, Alien Isolation VR mod is still only gamepad and not VR controller based, right? Yeah. I'm standing up with a controller, but I still feel like if you're standing up with a controller and you're in a hallway and the dimensions are relatively accurate, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're inside the game. And so I feel that way with Alien Isolation. I've crawled through a lot of little ducts, and I've had my flare burning, and it's flickering, and you hear the music and the shadows and the lighting. Oh my God, it all looks so good. The thing that I was struck by playing this yesterday, the people that are not playing Alien Isolation mod, Alien Isolation with the mod, people that are not playing this in VR, holy smokes, they are missing out on potentially a AAA like experience. Now, not necessarily AAA, but right there with the flare, that stuff looks really cool. But you're missing out on a AAA-ish experience in Alien Isolation. Now, the one thing that holds it back is the lack of hand presence. That does suck. I really wish I could see a hand moving around, because then what I like to do in a lot of VR stuff is like I'm walking down the hallway, right? And I'll bring one hand up here and I'll bring another hand up here, and I'll kind of keep my hands in my, because you have this cone of vision, you're in your scuba gear mask. And I'll try to get both of my hands kind of up here as I'm walking around, because my mind, what that does is that puts me into that environment even more, because my mind is seeing my arms move perfectly, and it's placing me in that environment even more. And you can't do that if you're playing with a controller. That's the one thing that kind of sucks with a controller. But as we all know, playing Resident Evil 7 on PlayStation VR, that was with a controller, and Resident Evil 7 will scare the living daylights out of you. And you're standing up with the controller. Now, if you're sitting down, you're playing it wrong. If you're sitting this down, you're playing it wrong. If you're sitting down, I understand because it's not as immersive, so you're probably helping yourself a little bit, not exactly soil your pants as many people are talking about. Logan68 says, close my eyes on my first death by the alien. I'm scared to hell. Dude, I have not encountered the alien yet one-on-one. It hasn't happened yet, and I'm scared to death of it. Chris Cox says the alien AI mod increases the area it stalks you. Oh, great. It comes out of vents further away so you don't hear it and will sneak up on you. Oh, man, that sounds really harsh. Andy Sky is saying Serious Sam 3 is a AAA game, but still low-budget Gorn game sold 10 times more. But Gorn is freaking awesome. That's why Gorn sold so damn much. Airman929565, okay, you have talked me into getting it. Well, dude, if you can get it for $7.19, because I just got the base game. This was at fanatical.com, I believe. And you use the Summer 10 code. Cost me $7.19. For that price, why not? And then those of you that worry about a mod and think it might be hard to do, this is the easiest mod ever, because all you do is a simple Google search, alien isolation mother mod or whatever. Boom, you'll hit GitHub. One little folder to download. And, you extract that one folder. There's one little thing that you drop into the Alien Isolation folder that's in your Steam Apps common folder. You throw that into the Alien Isolation folder, you're done. That's it. There's nothing else to you. The easiest mod in the world. What is it like playing this game? There's a lot of parts, though, where you're watching like a screen, and then sometimes when you're using these terminals, it does this thing where it goes, and then the screen is like inches away from your face. That is a little weird, but the lighting, the atmosphere, the sound, and then also when you have a human character, like there was this one point, spoilers, but this is very early in the game, there was one point where you start meeting this human character and you're walking around and talking to this human character. And at first, I was with this human character guy, and it seemed like this whole game was designed perfectly in VR. Like it was meant to be in VR because he was looking at me. He was talking to me. It felt like Call of the Starseed or something. It was like the guy was looking at me and he was talking to me, and it seemed like it was orchestrated. It seemed like it was made for VR. And I was incredibly impressed by that. But then what happened a little bit later in the game, there was a certain part where he's like, come on, come on. He's waving at me to like follow him. And I'm like 5 feet ahead of him and he's looking back there. So at a certain point, I realized, no, this isn't actually designed with VR in mind perfectly. But there's times where you'll think it is, and you'll be like, holy shit, I just stumbled on a AAA VR game. A lot of people talk about this, but it's a mod. And there's a lot of people that are scared of mods. There's a lot of people, they're not going to find this on the Oculus Store. They're not going to find Alien Isolation VR on Steam, and they're going to hear that it's a mod, and they're never, ever going to get this. And that is a true unfortunate thing, because it is such an easy step to make this work. And you got to wonder, what is up with Sega? Like, why? Sega has a great VR game here. This is like a top 10 VR game if all they did was give you some actual hand presence and make you feel like you're a little bit more into the game. They got a top 10 VR game that they could sell for $29.99 easily on the Oculus Store and Steam VR and sell a shit ton of copies. But anyway, that's my take on. I got to play a lot more of this. I haven't even seen the Androids yet, so I haven't gotten to the Android part. But I've played for like what seems like an hour and a half. I don't know. It seems like I played for a while. Let me go back to chat here. So, Logan68 says the robots are just as bad as the alien. Yeah, I haven't even seen the androids yet. Can you believe that? Phil Yarn had to go back to work. Sorry, Phil. Check the show out later. And again, anybody that watches this show later, leave a comment Because if you leave an interesting comment, I could absolutely feature that comment at the beginning of a future show. That's something I do want to try to do more. Crunchy says, wasn't Alien Isolation developed with some VR code in the game? Yeah, I think they kind of explored VR, but when one of their testers died because, no, I'm just kidding. That did not happen. But yeah, no, there does seem to be some VR code. Yes, they did disable it. That's what Paradise is saying. Let's see what else people. Paul Smith says, I love mods. Such a treat after starting off with PSVR. And Silver says, not quite sure why developers did not convert more 2D games. Look at Alien Isolation modded, Wipeout, Skyrim. Look at Hellblade. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So many games. Oh, he's saying, VR Mania Q, where can I buy Alien Isolation for $7? Okay, the website is Fanatical, I think. Just do a search for Fanatical Alien Isolation. Because I got it, yeah, Fanatical. Is it fanatical.com? I forget who it is. Never really heard of Fanatical. I'm hoping they don't like sell all my information to Russian terrorists, but other than that, I'm going to listen to a little bit of sound of this trailer so I can take a sip of water. Be back in a sec.
I'm Samuels. I work for the company. It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda.
That is a creepy environment. Absolutely creepy. The sound is incredibly creepy. This is one of these games, man. I mean, I haven't even seen anything yet, really, and I'm just creeped out because you just don't know when is it going to come out of a corner. I might have to nope out of this game. I mean, I'm not going to say, like, so far I've been able to survive every horror game except for Brookhaven Experiment with those bugs. The bugs get to me, man. The bugs get to me. And the alien from Alien is so, like, it's such a good designed creature. It's such a well-designed creature. So iconic and just absolutely terrifying. And so hearing that thing sneak around and know that it's sneaking around. I've seen these different cabinets and stuff that you're supposed to hide in. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be hiding from this thing. It's going to be creeping around. But what I think is going to happen is the motion tracker too. Hearing the hearing the motion tracker. Oh my God, that's going to be so, like, that right there is going to be so freaking scary. Chris Cox says, was Alien Isolation a commercial success? I believe in the world of flat gaming, I think it sold relatively decently. I think they were profitable, I would have to imagine. I do imagine they were profitable. I don't know that it was like a raging success, but they were profitable. What is the discount code? It is SUMMER10. Summer, SUMMER 10, Summer 10, and you get it. So it was $7.19, but you can buy the collection if you really think you're going to play all that DLC and stuff. Like, how long is this game? Does anybody know how long the base game of Alien Isolation is? Because it seems like I've already played it for about an hour and a half, and I haven't even seen an android or an alien yet. So I've seen the alien kill my buddy, but I didn't really see him. It kind of happened so fast, and I haven't like gotten into the regular juice of the game yet, but I'm loving the environments, the look of it, the sound of it. Very good. So definitely we'll be playing more of that. Okay, Chris Cox says it's quite long. Fluke says, I think it suffered somewhat because of Colonial Marines poisoning the Alien franchise. Yeah, that was a big factor as well. Paradise Decay says, I think it's around 10 hours. Alexander Ritter says the game has 23 hours. Main Fan says 18 to 20 hours. Okay, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I made a very smart decision. I did not get the DLC because honestly, the chances of me seeing the end of this game probably is not very good. You know, me even seeing half of this game is probably not very good, but I've already got my $7.19 out of it as far as I'm concerned. So I'm pretty good with that. Main Fan says he beat it in pancake mode back in the day. Fluke says he got stuck at one point for about 3 or 4 hours. 3.5 hours of that wasn't me hiding, honest. Yeah, see, I haven't even got to the hiding part. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I believe the first encounter I have is going to scare the crap out of me. But I think once I survive like 3 or 4 alien deaths, I'll be over it. And at that point, I'll be able to play it no problem. So I just gotta deal with like 3 or 4 alien deaths, and then I'll be good. Okay, let me throw a different trailer on there, but that is Alien Isolation. Yeah, super late to the party. It's not like it's a brand new release or something, but everybody was talking about it yesterday. I've heard so many good things about it so often that I had to go down that road. Okay, so I'm going to just throw on some random trailer. Let's throw on some Ghostbusters montage. This, of course, is available right now on Steam, although you probably want to stay really far away from it. VR Spry Guy says, Anthony, have you finished Skyrim VR? Are you crazy? The only Bethesda game I've finished like this is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 I played from beginning to end. And if there is anything I would love to see Fallout 3 come to VR. I would replay that entire game in VR without question. But no, I did not finish Skyrim VR. I played about 20 hours in Skyrim VR pancake style. In actual VR, I've probably only played 3 or 4 hours because somebody in my position... and Paradise can speak to this. If I just go off into a cave and play Skyrim for 4 months, what the hell am I going to talk about? I got to try to play all kinds of things. So it's very hard for me to get into a game that will take over my life. Paradise Decay says, you need to keep playing and see how far you can get in Alien Isolation. I get so far and have to stop. Yeah, well, I'm going to play till I can see an alien and see these androids and all of that. I absolutely have to keep playing until I get to that. So I will keep playing that. Fluke is saying Anthony should live stream it for science. Yeah, you want to see somebody die on air. I haven't done any live stream Let's Plays. I've thought about, I want to try doing maybe a few Let's Plays. I haven't done them in a long time. I did some Let's Plays way back in the day on VR Roundtable channel. Way back in the day. But haven't done any in a long time. I'd like to screw around with it. Sometimes when I try to record game footage, though, it gets all choppy and stuff. I really need a better PC, to be completely honest with you guys. All right, so you know what? I'm going to take a last quick check of news. Let's bounce over to Upload VR. And let's see, are there any major stories at Upload VR? Most VR pros believe adoption is still limited by cost and lack of content. There's a lot of content. It might not necessarily be like Grand Theft Auto 5 in VR, but there's a lot of content. They're talking about the Shrek was turned into a Beat Saber track. And they're talking about David Hasselhoff in a new 360 video. So yeah, it is slow right now, folks. Not a lot of news. We're hoping tomorrow with SIGGRAPH 2018 and Star VR, we're hoping to have some big news tomorrow. I just bounced over to Road to VR. They're still talking about Nintendo Switch, the test VR mode, the different best free games on Rift and Vive. So just not much going on. Take one last quick check of the subreddits. The Vive subreddit was talking about Patreon shutting down. The Revive Patreon is shutting down. Cross VR, hired by Epic Games. That is really good. The Humble Bundle, people talking about that. It is actually a damn good deal. So definitely check out the Humble Bundle. Not bad. Some good deals. Brookhaven, $5 to the top $10. Let's see. Vroom Kaboom. You know, there's a new game called Vroom Kaboom, which I don't know if it comes out like tomorrow or something. But VR Roundtable, we got a code for that, so I'll have to try that, and then maybe I can talk about that tomorrow. Let's bounce over to Oculus. So Oculus, the number one upvoted thing on Oculus is they have this guy on a hydraulic gaming chair. And he has 3 monitors, and he's playing like Assetto Corsa or Project Cars or something, and it's moving all over the place as he's driving. But they're saying what we need is this, but for VR. But that chair looks like it costs like damn near 15 grand or something. And the number one comment is, wonder what happens when you flip the car. Yeah, can't actually do that. Not much else is going on Oculus. They are talking about the Humble Bundle as well. There is going to be the first ever OpenXR demo heading to SIGGRAPH, which OpenXR isn't this, this is the Kronos group, right? Isn't this idea that eventually all HMDs will be able to use all stores and all of this with OpenXR? Like, this will basically open up the Oculus store to everybody, right? Eventually, maybe, or something. I don't know. It's kind of like nebulous, right? But they are talking about that real quick. And then let's go over to PSVR for one last quick check. PSVR, they're talking about Firewall 0 Hour, the maps exploration video, which we did see that earlier. And the one cool thing about Firewall is those interiors. I really think some of those interiors look absolutely beautiful. And they're also talking about this picture here, the PSVR alien dude with the lights, which does look super cool. So let's see what people are talking about over in chat before we bounce out of here. Roy Schwartz, geez, I'm almost overwhelmed just looking at VR games not on PSVR. Robo Recall, you recommend? Dude, we recommend all of them. Subnautica. Dude, there's literally like hundreds of games you could potentially play, Roy. So you're going to have to take a month off of work. They're talking about, extract the file directly into the root of your Alien Isolation folder. Yeah, it is super easy. Supersonic Station. You just got to find where your folders are for all of your Steam games, find the Alien Isolation folder, and you'll see it's like a little execution thing that you copy into there. Paradise Decay says, I'm being hunted by the alien just after getting the motion controller. It heard me breathing in a closet and grabbed me. Yeah, so he's in the middle of it. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Looking forward to it. Anthony, find out if there is a tour mode for Firewall so you can just walk around and look at the levels. Well, you know what? I'll probably do that even when I'm in game. Like, when I'm in that hotel, I want to look at the molding and the carpet and everything. It just looks so cool to me. And then there's possible spoilers for some Alien Isolation, so I don't want to look at that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. And so basically tomorrow's show should be at the same time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, tell a buddy about this channel, that anybody that's like really hyper into VR, let them know about this channel so they know that it exists. All these sorts of things. And I'll see everybody tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time, all this week. So we'll see how that goes. SIGGRAPH 2018, Star VR. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Alrighty then, take it easy. Later.